Imagine a life where you no longer feel the need to hide from or overcome the failures in your life, but experience true freedom. Check out this video. Today we're talking about shame and merit and how we have a tendency to build our identity upon either one of those things, our goodness or our badness. And maybe you haven't given much thought to how you do that, but it's something we all know deep down, and it's something that we as humans have struggled with since the very beginning. And we see this in the story of Adam and Eve. And what happens is that they both want to build their identity on their ability, and they think, man, I can do this for myself, and that's why they took the apple and ate it. But what happens immediately after that? Man, their sin pushes them to realize their nakedness. They feel shame about it, and they cover themselves up. And that's what shame does. Shame pushes us to hide. And then a step further, Adam even tries to hide behind Eve and says, God, this woman that you gave me, she made me do it. That's what happens when we build our identity on our goodness or our badness, on our shame or on our merit, the things that we have deemed horrible that we've done, or the things that we've deemed good. So how do we fix it? Well, one way that we go about it in a wrong way and try to fix it is by leaning into pride. We say, okay, shame is wrong, and hiding in that shame is wrong, which is true. So I'll just be proud about it. I'll flaunt it. But the problem is that pride is a liar. Pride says, hey, come into the open, come be yourself. But really it's just a new hiding place. So the right solution, the one we see in Scripture over and over again, is almost 3 easy steps. It's to know your position, to know God's payment, and to know your purpose. When we say know your position, we mean that there are things that we have done wrong. We have sinned, and we have some shame that has been placed on us. But the solution is not to try to work ourselves out of it. We can't do that. So the next step is to know God's payment, to know that your shame has been paid for. And we see that, like in the story of Adam and Eve, we see it rightly in the story of Christ, where we have shame and try to hide. God had none. Jesus had none, but stepped into and had died a shameful death. Where we try to hide our nakedness, Jesus was stripped of his clothing, stripped of his status, and hung on a cross for our sin. And the final thing, what he purchased for us, was our purpose. What Adam and Eve did is they stopped looking at the purpose God had given them, and they started saying, I will make and call the own shots for my life. I will be the one who decides my own future. So what we need to do is we need to get back to our purpose. We need to say, God, you created me in your image. You created me to make disciples and multiply movements, and that's what I want to lean into. So as you read the Scripture today, look through and say, where has God brought me from? What did he do to get me where I am, and what purpose has he set me on?